The past, present, and future spread is one of the most important you will learn. It might look at first glance like a reading to discover what will happen in the future, but its purpose is to construct a timeline, connecting the present to the past and looking ahead to the future. This is based on the understanding that the past informs the present and the present goes on to develop into the future. You can use this spread to resolve past events, understand the present situation, and see a way to move forwards. It is also a great method to start looking at the connections between the tarot cards, as you will need to read them in relation to one another. The ability to interpret the connection between the causes of a situation, the situation itself, and its possible outcomes can lead to some crucial insights. Remember, the future is a changeable entity. As a tarot reader, when you consider the future, don't think, "This will be," but rather, "This could be." Prepare and place the cards. The reader and carent should both shuffle the deck. The carent cuts the deck using the hand that they don't write with. The reader then places 3 cards in a straight line. The first is placed to the left, the second in the middle, and the last to the right. As the reader turns the cards over, they should think or say, "This is what came before, this about the present, and this is about the future." The reader interprets the cards in each position, keeping in mind how their meanings relate to each other. After having looked at all the cards individually, the reader will then bring all the elements together in a synthesis. The past. The card appearing in this position represents the causes and roots of the current situation. The other 2 cards will be influenced by the interpretation of this one. While turning over the first card, the reader should think, "This is what came before." The present. This card symbolizes the present, like a snapshot of what is going on in the querent's life right now. Often this will relate to a problem, challenge, or doubt in his or her life. The future. You can think of this card as giving a glimpse of what may come to be. While the future is never certain, this card shows you what can occur if the carent does not alter his or her behavior or reasoning. Synthesis. The past, present, and future spread is not about revealing what will happen tomorrow. The future is not fixed and can be influenced by our actions. The carent has probably come to the reader for advice about what to do or how to better understand a situation. Using these 3 cards, the reader is able to help him or her reflect on past actions that have brought things to this point. The reader can demonstrate what could possibly happen from now on. If the card indicates that the future is positive, the reader can reassure the carent that things are working well. If the card is negative, the reader should urge the carent to change the way in which he or she is dealing with the problem. Example reading. For this example reading, we are using only the major arcana cards. In this instance, the reader has drawn the Fool, indicative of the past, the Emperor, representing the present, and the Hermit, a symbol of a possible future. The Fool indicates the past. This card suggests the carent is coming from a long, carefree, almost thoughtless period. He or she was happy and did not worry much about the future, taking each day as it came, without goals or a sense of direction. The Emperor commands the present. Having lived without worrying too much about anything or anyone, the carent is now occupied with numerous activities and has learnt how to carefully manage his or her time and energy. The Hermit reveals the future. There is no doubt that the carent is becoming more mature and self-sufficient, but risks being alone. He or she must take care to maintain friendships and make time in their schedule for fun and socializing. Synthesis. The 3 cards indicate a process of maturation. From the light-heartedness of the past emerges a new sense of responsibility. The present situation seems more constructive than what went before, and the carent appears to be happy. Nevertheless, by proceeding in this direction, he or she could end up losing friends and people who are important to them, leading to the isolation suggested by the presence of the Hermit in the future position. The reader could ask the carent how much friendships matter to them. If these relationships are important, then he or she may want to change their behavior to ensure that these are maintained. The reader can also point out that the Fool and the Hermit appear to be opposites, while the Emperor represents a middle way between the two. This may suggest the need for balance in the querent's life. Looking into the future. The art of tarot is not concerned with finding out what is going to happen. Rather, in a spread like this, the querent can gain an idea of what may ensue if they continue with their current behavior. When an apparently negative card appears in the future position, the querent can attain particular benefit from the reading. It may provide advice on the possible consequences of their situation and how the querent could change the future for the better. Until next time, farewell.